a very Riley mode snack.
Please tell me
It's
about
the
your
11
snack.
Madison Park granola.
Ooh.
Riley's signaling a field goal.
It's the granola they give you at 11 Madison Park if you go, but you can make it at home and it's really easy.
That's fun. Wait, so you have duped the 11 Madison Park granola.
Cartoonist Lucy Knisley has duped the 11 Madison Park granola on an Instagram post.
Shout out to Lucy Knisley.
And,
Well done.
Where a friendly raccoon makes it in the comic, and I.
And of course, you identified with that raccoon in the sense that you also made.
And then I'm also friendly.
I'm going to count us down 3, 2, 1, Mark. And when I say Mark, I'd like you to like really crunch the granola like quite loud, but in one distinct kind of audio peak, in such a way that we can sync up the thing. Riley, you don't have granola, so you're just going to have to improvise. That was a loud crunch.
That's what crunching would have sounded like if I did it with my hands. If there was granola in my hands, it would have gotten pulverized.
That's why they call me Captain Crunch.
Welcome to an episode of No Gods, No Misophonia. I am your mayor for this episode, November Kelly. I'm joined by my co-mayors, Mattie Lubchansky and Riley Quinn.
Hello.
Hi.
And it's me again. I'm writing episodes again because for a long time I wasn't. You may have noticed my slacking in the schedule. And the reason for that was I was finishing my degree. I have now got my degree. And so now I can do this again. Now I can get back to the real heavy work of trying to come up with an hour of entertainment about a mayor.
Mm-hmm. You mean letting the Mayor-taculous speak to you about an hour of entertainment of the mayor?
This is the thing, though. After that time away, you know, after my Rumspringer in academia, I kind of panicked, right, when it came time.
I think that's the opposite of a Rumspringer, to be fair.
Yeah, it's sort of a bum springer in that it's a bummer.
Yeah. The big spotlight turned on me again, and I panicked because I worried that I had lost the ability to discern what the Mayor-taculous was telling me, you know. And, you know, sometimes in these cases we feel a kind of what Mormons call a prompting. You know, we feel a kind of a sort of like clear divine signal to use certain tools to aid us, certain schematics, certain dogmas, such as, for instance, Googling mayor plus noun, like karate mayor, for instance, which got us to Gore Vardanian. So in this case, what I Googled was mayor statue. And there's a few like interesting statues, but one grabbed me. And it's this statue that you see on the first page of the notes, which is a bronze of a guy with an open double-breasted suit jacket and a martini glass aloft.
I think that this is like the mid 20th century sort of mobbed up local politician version of like a Roman equestrian statue where like the drink they're holding indicates what he was indicted on.
He's holding the martini aloft, which means he was indicted in battle. I just want to say about this statue, Nova. On the pedestal, these words appear: the happiest mayor in the universe.
This is true. We speak of Mayor Oscar B. Goodman, the mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada, from 1999 until 2011. And so,
God, what a time to be mayor of Vegas, too.
We'll get into it. So this is going to be the story of the happiest mayor in the universe. But first, items.
Yeah.
Welcome to Item Roundup.
Is it called Item Rodeo?
It's called Municipal Roundup. I swear to fucking Christ, the two of you goons are going to kill me.
And so the first bucking steer into the rodeo of Item Rodeo.
What's it called? Item Rodeo? Is it something? If someone trying to patronize us,
it's not my first Item Rodeo.
Yeah. Developing a new bit where I quit the show on air.
I can't work under these conditions. I'll be in my trailer. Learn your goddamn line.
Yeah.
Give me an item.
Okay, item. Eric Adams update. This past week in Las Vegas, the city we're covering today, was Bitcoin 2025. And Eric Adams appeared at a party calling himself the Bitcoin mayor, which our friend Francis Suarez might want to talk to him about that. And I'm going to read here from...
Say also, to jump in here quickly.
Please.
Having talked extensively about Eric Adams and having devoted a whole episode to Francis Suarez, Eric Adams is not the fucking Bitcoin mayor. No, Francis Suarez is
the guy
absolutely...
who minted Miami coin is the fucking Bitcoin mayor. quite literally.
You're not enforcing your like mayor trademark. Though,
Yeah. Sorry, you tried to get one Bitcoin paycheck, Eric Adams, and it failed. Anyways, here's a quote from him. I'm going to read the whole quote, which is from the New York Daily News, and a little bit of what was going on from Defector in a piece that was illustrated by some ugly fuck. Okay, here's from the Daily News. Just as our flag still flies, Bitcoin is going to continue to fly in our country in New York City, Adams said, adding that crypto business people are, quote, the Betsy Ross of today, after reciting part of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Part of the Pledge of Allegiance is my favorite part.
Part, do we think? Anyway.
I hope he just did like the middle of, I hope he read like all of the sentences, but only the middle parts of each sentence.
Allegiance to the flag, Republic which it stands,
etc.
Nation undivisible.
Nation under. Yeah. Nation indivisible under.
Liberty
there you
and
go.
justice. Thank you.
Yeah. And here's
I read the Pledge of Allegiance, but only the nouns.
And okay, so here's from also a story on Defector by Patrick Redford, who went to Bitcoin 2025. Yeah, Eric Adams tells a confused room of people at a private dinner club party hosted by former child star, alleged sex criminal, and crypto kingpin Brock Pierce. And Adams's gnarled formulation, he and apparently also you guys, like America's most legendary upholsterer, came from the working class and yet achieved greatness. He underscores this in his talk by going line by line through the Star-Spangled Banner, a song, after all, written about the flag Betsy Ross famously stitched and somewhat less famously did not stitch.
Wait, so hold on. Did he just have like the Genius app open on his phone to the Star-Spangled Banner?
I'm assuming.
Rocket's red glare.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eric Adams connected all this back to his personal journey from prosecution to the welcoming arms of Bitcoin. After he wrapped up Pierce sets about attempting to film an episode of his Shark Tank ripoff Crypto Nights in the crowded restaurant space, interrupting filming multiple times to scream at everyone to please shut the fuck up. Just a beautiful scene with Eric Adams at the center. You are the Betsy Ross of today.
Yeah, all of you, collectively, like a sort of Habesian Leviathan?
Yeah, and then
you are all Betsy Ross.
Then this former child star and adult sex offender allegedly is going to come in and scream at everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, the only thing we know about Betsy Ross is the flag thing, and also, who cares?
I'm loving Eric Adams' kind of Lydia Tarr directing video game music in Thailand arc.
Eric Adams.
Also, right? Like with Eric Adams, what you notice is like he will fixate on stuff for a little while and then keep bringing it up. In this case, it seems like someone told him that like there's a crypto flag or something. He just sort of came up with that and was like, I'm going to hit that twice at two separate events.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, he loves to do it.
In many ways, a kind of 9/11 of conversational technique.
Item. Hot town, summer in the city. This is a quick one. I'm reading here from a journalist, Ethan Stark Miller, who was last week. Eric Adams was giving a press conference at the beaches opened here in New York City. And last summer, there were a lot of drownings, like the most in years, probably because they stopped hiring lifeguards. Who knows? But anyways, so like all things, Eric Adams wants to solve the problem with drones, which is not the worst idea in the world. A drone could fly a floaty or out to somebody, right? Whatever. But here's just a little quote from this press conference. Speaking about drones that can tell swimmers who may be drowning that help is on the way, Eric Adams says, quote, they're going to use my voice because I have a calming voice.
Just playing the pre-recorded AI-generated translations he did. Hola, soy el alcalde Eric Adams.
Drowning is the breathing of swimming. Welcome to New York.
You know, Atlantis is always the first stop.
Yeah, can you just imagine if you're okay, so you and your boo are out at beautiful Rees Beach, enjoying a day out in the surf and the sand, and you go out for a swim, and you get ripped under the riptide, and you get pulled out to sea, and the last thing you hear is the whir of a drone, and Eric Adams' voice being like, let your floaters become your boaters. When you drown at the beach of success, help is on the way.
Rambling about how he used to have a girlfriend out there.
Yeah, you are the Betsy Ross of drowning.
Yeah. New York City, where anything could happen between someone starting a business and you drowning. Condolences.
condolences.
My condolences for your untimely death.
It just drops a wreath instead of a flotation device.
It's just, it depends on how far you are from shore and how likely they are to rescue you. It drops either flowers or like an inner tube. Unfortunately, we will not be able to rescue you. However, know that you are being mourned and that your efforts to make this city great will help New Yorkers get swag for generations. keep up the good fight, Eric Adams.
You have a pretty good Eric Adams cadence, I will say.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. It's from having listened to him talk too much.
Yeah. As they say in my native Colombia, Nicaragua, Spain, Venezuela, Mexico, and Chile.
Turkey, Uzbekistan.
Adios.
Maybe you'll escape the cycle of samsara, or maybe you'll come back and start a business. Both of these could be considered good outcomes.
Just giving me tips on how to hustle while I'm drowning.
I learned about samsara in my native country of Nepal. I'm Eric Adams.
World citizen.
If you come back as a ghost, consider picking up some garbage on the street to help beautify the city. I'm Eric Adams.
Have you tried scaring a rat out of your house? Okay. Item.
I'm moving us through this. I got a lot of Oscar Goodman.
Okay.
All right. This is going to be a quick item. This is my item. It's also Eric Adams.
Eric item.
It's part of like something that I like to walk the sun beat.
Of course.
Right? I like to look at what the sun
like Apollo.
Doing. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. I ride my chariot of suns across the sky, and then I look at Icarus dropping like an idiot. So anyway, this is for the New York Toast. New York Toast.
Riley, can you just go check the mirror real quick if both your pupils are the same size?
I smell New York. Oh, that's what Eric Adams would say if he had a stroke. I smell New York toast.
I will be calling it this now in perpetuity. Along with the ski dudes, follows the New York Toast.
So this was written in the New York Toast. Jordan Coleman.
Whatever happened to them? You know, like I know they've like there's newsletters and stuff, but it's not the same as it used to be. I like the one about the two monks.
Yeah. So Jordan Coleman, Mayor Eric Adams' 29-year-old son, is back in New York after competing abroad in the Albanian equivalent of American Idol and has dropped an EP.
Albanian Idol.
Yeah, Albanian Idol. And has dropped an EP of 5 party songs inspired by Eastern Europe. He said, I think that this right now is about to be the biggest chapter of my life because I'm a young man and I have a lot of responsibilities, but I also have something to say.
God, he talks like Eric Adams too. It's heritable.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
I caught it.
Well, this is the son who I assume during the election when Eric Adams was pretending to live in Brooklyn, he was like squatting in his son's house.
Yeah.
So I imagine he just had to listen to his dad enough, just like puttering around the kitchen, looking for salmon or whatever, that he just picked up some of his mannerisms. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan, did you eat all my chia seeds? I have to eat 2 cups of dry chia seeds every day to maintain my swag levels. So a substitute teacher and sports coach at Palisades Park High School who released Jet Lag Dreams under his rap moniker JU on April 25th.
Embarrassing for your teacher to be rapping, I feel.
Yeah.
Unless they're like rapping about, geometry or whatever. I feel like who I really wanted to be, the teacher, actor, musician, and filmmaker told the Post. Like that last portal where
he's also got teaching in there.
Like that last portal where you step into your big boy career. So I realized I need to make music that people could relate to while I'm out there.
Using the phrase big boy career at the age of 29 is so fucking funny. This dude's 5 years younger than me.
Stepping through that last portal? What the way he drops out like it's a phrase that everybody says and knows.
Into my big boy career.
So basically portals, like Jordan Adams has this Jordan Coleman has this theory of portals where
that's how he got to Albania.
Yeah, he invented quantum tunneling.
Basically, he says he says I call them portals. I was entering a new portal when my dad was getting into office, and now I feel this current portal is the end when he was first when he was first coming to office.
Guy who plays
now we're gonna have a new portal.
A
new portal to step into with him going for his re-election. So yeah, it's like his theory of portals is that every major moment in your life is like a portal to the rest of your life. but also the portals, you can step out of them when those moments are done. And most of them are to do with his dad's career as mayor.
Yeah.
But now he's making his own portals.
That tracks.
Basically.
I see that all three of us have now highlighted the next sentence in this article.
Uh-huh. I have a purpose that keeps me up at night and wakes me up in the morning, said Colvin, who is a finalist on the talent show.
I sleep so poorly.
Yeah. I have never slept because I have so much purpose. Every night is a portal, and sleep is a portal to not working with purpose. And I will never step into that portal. I will stay in the portal of being awake and rapping and hustling and teaching and acting and making films.
Never step into the portal into my bedroom, which is from my living room into the bedroom.
He says, I have to prove it to myself that I'm not crazy, and I have to prove it to the world that I have something for them too. And then, this is also crazy, the jack of all trades, this is the New York Post again, the New York Toast, excuse me, who first rose to fame as a child actor as the voice of Tyrone
sick monks
on the Nick Jr. cartoon The Backyardigans, is also wrapping up shooting a hip-hop musical where he plays a secret agent trying to stop clout-chasing zombies.
I feel like after Hamilton, you don't even really need to say hip-hop musical. That's just a musical now. Like, it's just a major genre. Okay, sure, fine, great.
Yeah, so some of the tracks on Coleman's new album, which include titles like Girls in the City and Up to Some, were debuted at a live birthday bash he threw at Gracie Mansion in August.
Up to Some, by the way, is S-U-M, up the number 2 S-U-M, which might be about math.
Yeah.
You might be rapping about algebra.
We hope so.
It's one of those songs where I'm just like, Dad, I'm recognizing who you are, and I appreciate you and Mom for making me. And it's just like, here we are in this Gracie Mansion, and we're just living our life.
Here we are in this Gracie Mansion. I'd rather be in a Gracie Mansion full of haste. The other thing as well is it's kind of insulting for Eric Adams to have a theme song that he uses for everything that is Empire State of Mind when his son is a rapper. Like, okay, sure, it could be really bad, but like, you don't have to tell us that you don't respect your son's rapping abilities.
What's incredible about this is that the son here is so clearly a sort of a Kendall Roy, but his father is also a Kendall Roy, which is
multiple Kendalls.
Everyone is one step down from like where they would have been in succession. So it's like, it's like Kendall's meth buddies sucking up to Kendall, who's in the position of Logan. Unfortunately, he's way more consequential for like whether or not young New Yorkers go to school.
Yeah. Basically. And also whether or not ICE is black bagging people fucking downtown. Sure.
Yeah. So, though we're not really big into politics, the Big Apple's first son doubles as a consultant on young voters to his father. I love that.
The Big Apple's first son, a like description comprised entirely of like words you could teach at a first or second grade level.
So I ask him, how can I help? And I offer a lot to help in the sense of trying to give them ideas of what people my age might think might be cool or what people my age might think.
29 years old.
Yeah, he's 29.
He's 29 years of age.
Like, I want him to still be doing this. On Trash Future, we talked about a guy called Richard Evans, who I'm still obsessed with, who's like a 54-year-old who still talks like this. Because his dad's like a lord and he just basically sells access to his dad. This is giving me the same feeling that I got when he was learning about Richard Evans.
This guy will be a son his whole life.
Yeah, he's destined to be nothing more than a son. Even if he has kids, he will only ever be a son. So being the mayor's son has perks, but also drawbacks. With my dad being who he is, give me the foundations of what I have. It's come to the time in my life where every time I step up, I need to present myself in a positive light. When you're the mayor of one of the world's biggest cities, your son's going to face pressure.
Tagline to a completely forgotten Mel Gibson movie.
Yeah. All right. Those are the items.
Yeah, I just think it's really important when I saw Eric Adams' son in Albania. It was just like I shot up with a cold sweat in the night.
Yeah.
Thinking about the immortal precepts.
Rapping in Albania. Call that shkeep hop.
Yeah.
Anyways,
good.
As always,
that's my item.
Good.
As
good
always,
items.
Support for the nation of Albania. Yes.
Of course. Unerring. Unswerving. What good items. Thank you so much. So,
could we maybe say that maybe being the mayor is that when you're the mayor of one of the biggest cities in the world, your son's going to face pressure is another precept?
Yes.
We know that to be
actually,
true.
I would adopt that unhesitatingly.
I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just want to get the wording. Number 7.
When you're the mayor of one of the largest cities in the world, your son's going to face pressure.
which is undoubtedly true and universally so.
Yeah, no question.
Okay, great. That's number 7. Thank you so much.
That's precepted. Good. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Our feature presentation. So, as with Fiume and with Vernon, I'm kind of establishing a niche here as being the woman for weird cities. And okay, every city's weird, but like Las Vegas is a very weird city. And I'm going to tell you a fact, right, which people don't necessarily know about Las Vegas and which is going to change a lot of things. The Strip, the big streets with all the casinos and stuff on it, that is not in Las Vegas.
Oh my God. So what happens there doesn't stay there.
Well, kind of. It's legally, right? That's not part of the city of Las Vegas. It's not within city limits. That is unincorporated Clark County land. So the people who actually have pull over like the casinos and stuff are the Clark County Board of Supervisors. Different thing. Not mayors. We're not interested. But like the city of Las Vegas is this weird L-shaped block around the Strip that has all of the people who work in the casinos and kind of nothing else, right?
Yeah, it's a little like Miami in that sense, that it's like the actual city of Las Vegas is not what you think it is.
Yeah, the city of Las Vegas is kind of like this accessory to the theme park. And it doesn't really have anything else going on. That's the big narrative here. That's the big battle is either, you know, the city is just this kind of accessory to the Strip, or if you look at it the other way, the Strip is this kind of like big tumor, right? That is like growing out of control and like draining all the resources out of the city. And the city has some problems, right? Most notably, Nevada has no income tax, which makes it a great place to start a casino, makes it a really bad place to do anything else. Like it can't fund anything. Nevada spends, I think this is right, the second lowest amount per capita in the country on education. It's right ahead of Mississippi.
Cool.
Yeah, because they don't have the money for it.
Well, you could learn how to deal blackjack in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
You get really good at like some specific types of you become like savant level at some very specific types of
adding up within 21, easy.
Yeah, like the outcome, the mission of American education is to prepare you for jobs. So if all the jobs are like raking, chips, why would you? Yeah.
Well, like for instance, Las Vegas does have a university campus, but until like a couple of years ago, it didn't have a medical school. For example, you couldn't
go run in Rebels.
You couldn't train to be a doctor in Las Vegas.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so you have what is frankly a pretty like poor city in a state with a lot of like idiosyncrasies. Like conversely, all of the casino workforce in Vegas, or most anyway, is union, which partially because of a long tradition of that and partially also because of the mob, right? Because they controlled labor unions and so it benefited them to have unionized labor in all the casinos, which is still there and now demobbed. It's kind of like, you remember when we did Apostolic Roundup, right? I was talking about how like sort of secular earthly politics doesn't really translate to the church one-to-one.
Yeah. Same
again with Nevada. Like Nevada is in like electoral college terms on the big map, it's purple. But all the culture war stuff still comes in, but it all has to be translated to Nevadan first. And there's this strange kind of Nevada-ness that puts this twist on everything.
Yeah, it's you could call it the Nevadican. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It contains a Nevada-ness. All of which is why today I wanted to talk about Oscar Goodman, who, as we mentioned, was mayor of Las Vegas for the first decade of the 21st century, like 99 to 2011.
But that's such an insane decade to be mayor of Las Vegas, because that's like the decade that it switched over from this is a place you're going to go get chlamydia and maybe have your knees broken to, eating like infinite shrimp cocktails to a fun family destination that also has like raves and crypto startups. Like that's the decade that Las Vegas pivoted.
Well, it's not even the raves and crypto stuff isn't here yet exactly.
Yeah, this is like straight up Disneyfication stuff.
It's resort stuff. Like this is when they're trying to make Vegas like family friendly.
This is when they literally build the second strip, right?
Yeah.
Like the new strip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's also something where Oscar Goodman doesn't necessarily have much to do with that process. This is something that kind of happens without him because what he's in charge of, again, is like the functional behind the scenes bit of Vegas, and he's not even really in charge of it. But so we got to talk about the guy, right? Who is this guy? So first things first, he's from Philly, which is going to explain a lot about why he's like this. There's some personality here, but he's from like a law family. His dad's a fairly prominent lawyer. He's like born in 1939, so like grows up in the like 40s and 50s amidst insane anti-Semitism. Gets his nose broken a few times as a kid, notably. Again, this will explain a lot about why he's like this. Goes to law school at UPenn, works at the DA's office in Philly for like a bit less than a year, and he marries up. His wife, Carolyn, she went to Bryn Mawr. She had to propose to him, which I think is cute.
Feminism win.
Yeah, and her family, who are like highfalutin than his family, don't like him. It's a whole like touching story, right? Because he has this like very brash kind of affect, and then she sees the real Oscar when he's around his family, and she falls in love with him. It's sweet.
That's nice.
But so one day, his boss, the DA in Philly, who is Arlen Specter, weirdly, future senator,
strange,
has him talk to these two detectives who are up from Vegas on some like extradition thing, and he gets talking to them about Vegas, and he gets this idea in his head. Well, maybe we should move out there. And so the story is he wakes...
Strange. Sounds nice. I'll go there.
Yeah, sounds nice. I guess I'll just relocate my entire life because it sounds cool. He wakes his wife up in the middle of the night and he's like, do you want to move to the land of milk and honey? And in her words, she thinks he's gone insane and wants to move her to Israel.
That's the subtle anti-Semitism of assuming we all want to move there.
She genuinely is like, I thought he wanted me to move to Israel with him.
That's so bizarre. Either way, waking up with like an ecstatic vision, like I have to move to Nevada in like what year? 64?
1964.
That's not like Vegas seems fun. That's like, yeah, like Vegas is a place to get your knees broken.
Yeah, genuinely.
Bizarre.
They actually go out there on a B'nai B'rith flight as like an experience to see it one time, and then they just immediately move there on like the next plane functionally.
Damn.
Which you could just do back in the day.
Yeah.
So 64, they move to Vegas, and the story that these two tell continually is it's some real boomer shit, right? Is we moved to Vegas, we had $87 between us. And Oscar had a law degree, but he's not like licensed in Nevada, so he can't like get a law job until he passes the bar. So he's waiting for that to happen. And
just stretch that $87 for 20 months.
Yeah, exactly. And which you could do back then.
Well, yeah, and in $2025, that's over $7 million, I think. 87.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah. That tracks. Mm-hmm. So I assume they buy a house with like $1 of that and then settle down. Mm-hmm. But like Vegas is still a very small town. It's like 100,000 people, and it's literally like 4 casinos in the desert. And of those 100 people, 70,000 of them are in the mob. So just in the course of hanging out in bars, which is the only thing they can really like do because there's nothing else that happens in Vegas, they kind of meet everybody because you know how mob guys are. They're introducing you to motherfuckers. It's a whole thing, you know? This is a friend of mine.
They all have the same name, sure.
Yeah, so
we've all seen Goodfellas.
Yeah, they kill time waiting for Oscar to take the bar exam. He takes the bar exam, he passes the bar exam, and he gets a job at the DA's office again. And he's doing that, and it's kind of mid, whatever. And then one day, through his wife, interestingly, he gets asked to take a defense case.
That's so not usually what happens in mob move. The wife is always against further involvement with the mafia.
Yeah, no, in this case, it's like, because she's hanging out, she's meeting all these guys. So he gets asked to take a defense case for extortion.
If you don't win, we're going to try to cut off your toe.
Funny you should mention. So they both drive out to meet the guy, and another guy who is not their client gives Oscar an envelope with $3,000 in it and hundreds, which in 2025 is like $18 trillion, and says, don't lose the case. And at this
I guess
point,
I won't.
Yeah, at this point, it dawns on Oscar Goodman that these are mob guys, right? Like,
what?
You're living in the cartoon mob town. It's so you live in 1960s Las Vegas, and you're like, I think Rocco's pinstripe suit is trying to tell me something. I think it's a sign.
Ring a ding ding, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this guy who can only communicate by like sort of giving me a kiss on the cheek and then slipping money into my pocket might be in the mafia.
Yeah. So he quits the DA's office and he gets into the only game in town for a criminal defense attorney in Las Vegas, mob lawyer, right? And he's a really good mob lawyer. He wins cases. All these guys love him. He represents Meyer Lansky, for instance.
Oh.
He represents Lefty Rosenthal, who is Robert De Niro's character in Casino. He represents Nicky Spilotro, who is Joe Pesci's character in Casino. He plays himself in the movie Casino. And that is true. He's playing Robert De Niro's lawyer.
That's incredible.
He has a real vendetta against Clark County commissioners who he made sure were portrayed as idiot hicks in the movie Casino.
Yeah, genuinely. The feds are surveilling his daughter's bat mitzvah because half the room are mob guys.
Oh my God. I hear that and I'm just filled with so much yearning.
You will never go to a 1964 mobbed up bat mitzvah.
Yeah. Like you just realize it's like there are entire like super categories of human existence that are just closed forever.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they took from us.
Yeah. They're doing this to demoralize you.
Us brackets Jewish lawyers who moved to Vegas in the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. I could never be a Jewish lawyer who moves to Vegas in the 1960s and then becomes friends with Meyer Lansky and Lefty Rosenthal.
I'm sorry, that's true.
Like,
yeah.
Imagine like you're just like imagine this, right? You're at your daughter's bat mitzvah and like people can't stop coming up to you, kissing you on the cheek and handing you like envelopes full of money. You know, you're fucking around, you're chopping it up, and you sit down, you eat a ham encased, or you wouldn't eat a ham encased in Jello, but maybe you have like, I don't know, like a beef aspic dish, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, like what a time.
It's got like 5 different antennas sticking out of it because it's mostly listening devices. Like it's fantastic.
Like, and then you get to like mouth off to a federal agent because you know that they're not going to do anything to you in the near term. And so you can like go past, you know, like someone you know is watching you for the FBI and you can be like, hi, sweetheart. Hello. You know, you could do that. And then you could go back to your awesome party.
Is it legal for a bat mitzvah to be that Italian? Like,
yeah, can you, I just imagine you're at Lake Tahoe doing the hora and lifting a chair and you look to your left and it's Meyer Lansky and you look to your right and it's John the Ant Spilotro. I just imagine. Oh.
Like, imagine just living in the first half of one of the Scorsese movies.
So his big case is this. There's this one guy, Jimmy Chagra, who is not Italian, he's Lebanese.
Jimmy Chagra, he's very aligned.
Lebanese Jimmy Chagra. So
send Jimmy Chagra over to let's just say ground him permanently in his sacrum.
Let's just say he found his key points.
We had to fit it for a pair of cement Reiki wands.
That's Chagra, Chagra.
Yeah, we gave him the acupuncture, if you know what I mean. The needle was pretty big.
God, fucking damn it.
I don't know. This I have an intuition from the universe that he's gonna talk. Why do you give him the old Las Vegas acupuncture, huh?
So this guy,
I'm a very intuitive person.
I'm not even gonna fucking say his name anymore. This guy, he's like a big time, like
whoever he may be,
marijuana trafficker. He traffics weed, and he gets indicted, and the federal judge. I forget his name. It's like John Holland or something. They call him Maximum John because he's a real piece of shit. He tries to bribe him. He thinks that's not going to work. And eventually he decides, I'm going to assassinate the judge who has my case.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And that judge gets assassinated. And weirdly, the hitman who killed that judge on behalf of Jimmy DeChakra was Woody Harrelson's dad. So small world.
Extremely.
But so Jimmy Chagrin gets acquitted of conspiracy to kill the judge. They still get him on the weed charges and he goes to jail for the rest of his life. But like, it's wild that Oscar Goodman is able to get this guy acquitted of the actual like assassination.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, during this point, his wife starts a private school because we mentioned the Mississippi thing earlier. Like, there's no money for schools. She doesn't want to send her kids to the like public schools. But so Oscar gets pretty famous doing this. And he's got a very kind of like hostile kind of affect. He starts wearing black and white pinstripe suits like his clients. And
you can't, it's dazzle camouflage. So you can't tell the client and the lawyer apart. And they don't know who to arrest.
he's on TV a lot. There's an interview here I've got a quote from. But how did Tony Spilotro, for example, get the money to pay Goodman? Goodman says that he doesn't know. All I know is when Mr. Spilotro is with me, he's a kind, decent, attentive, genteel person. Spilotro was alleged to have put a rival's head in a vice and tightened it until his eyes popped out. It's not relevant as to where they get their money as far as I'm concerned, says Goodman.
I love it. If you've seen Casino, then you're basically saying, yeah, this is, Nicky is like, he's like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean, dangerous sociopath? He's always been very nice to me.
That money could have come from anywhere. It could have fallen out of anybody's pockets while they were being held upside down.
Yeah, he's always like, as you would expect, very like vocally defensive of his clients. You know, these people deserve their constitutional rights. They're being railroaded by the fucking FBI. Weirdly, the most ambivalence he ever expresses about his days as a mob lawyer is in a profile, which is one of the first profiles that comes up when you search for him in Cigar Aficionado magazine, which is the first time that's been a primary source for me.
Yeah, well, look, people always let their guard down to Cigar Aficionado.
Well, clearly,
since they hired Isaac Chotiner.
He does have a story about how one time he's mediating a thing between two mob guys and it's getting kind of heated and he backs up into the light switch, turns the lights off, and just hits the deck instantly. So yeah, he's having a fun time doing this. And he does this for like, I don't know, fucking like
so far
years.
What's happening is, again, like, in the Scorsese movie, he hasn't switched to the rock and roll soundtrack yet.
Yeah.
He's still doing the like oldies soundtrack.
Yeah. And this is all like montage, but he has a whole career as a mob lawyer, right? And he's really good at it. So like, how does that get us to No Gods, No Mez? It doesn't stand for No Gods, No Mob Lawyers. So,
although
we endorse those.
I'm going to have to use the phrase in his telling a lot because he's the kind of guy to do a lot of telling and a lot of it is not true. But in his telling, he is having dinner with his wife and his now grown kids. And he's like, I shit you not, this is very nearly a direct quote. I think I can change the system from the inside.
Where have I heard that before?
Yeah. And they go, what do you mean you want to be a cop? You're a podcaster. Are you stupid?
Also, what's a podcast? My eyes rolled back and I just said that.
Yeah.
I said that in the voice of a Canadian guy who's been living in Britain for a long time.
It was weird that she did that. Yeah. But no, he's genuinely like, I think I've had enough of like trying to change the system that like the crooked system that oppresses these innocent Italian American guys from the outside.
Sorry, I'm sick of trying to change the system by being a mob lawyer.
Yes,
kind of movements.
I'm sick of building Italian-Jewish relations by fighting Italophobia. As a mob lawyer,
you can fight Italophobia from inside City Hall.
Oh my god! Oh, it's I'm working for my new charity. It's called Spaghetti Mission, and we highlight instances of anti-Italian discrimination on campus.
So obviously, everyone tells him this is a bad idea. They're like, "You're never going to be mayor. You were a mob lawyer for one thing." And for another thing, people keep booking you on TV because you're a mob lawyer and getting you to say mob lawyer shit into a camera.
Yeah, you keep endorsing all of these known mobsters, and they
Weren't
like you.
In Casino?
You called Joe Pesci's character in Casino a kind, decent, attentive, genteel person, like,
and then starred in a movie where they showed everything he does.
Yeah.
Nicky is attentive.
That is true. I mean, not to his wife necessarily. But
yeah, he doesn't let a lot of things slide.
But so we go into the 99 Vegas mayoral election, and Oscar's like 17-1, no shot he wins. He's up against two boring guys who don't have Wikipedia
And
pages.
you know those odds are probably like pretty accurate, right?
Rock
They
solid.
were pretty. They were 17-1 was pretty specific for them. Yeah.
It's like a property developer and a county supervisor. One of them finds a video of him on TV saying he thinks Megan's Law is a dumb idea, which is meant to be the big kind of like knife. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I didn't believe any of that shit I said. I was just on TV." He wins 63% of the vote on a 26% turnout, which is the funniest possible landslide, I think.
I think it just goes to show that it's like what you really have to be is just whoever's been on TV most for longest is going to win. That's it.
Yeah, basically. Name
The
recognition.
truest thing in American politics, yeah.
The one guy who like wanders in off the street, sees a name he recognizes. During the campaign, it was reported that Goodman said with a big grin, "I'm running for mayor. I need your financial support. And if you don't give it to me, I'll have you whacked."
But what surely he doesn't need financial support. He's the last person who needs financial support because you'd be like, "Hey, mob guy."
Like, what do you?
Yeah, hey, mob. Hey, I got my friends from north of the border. They're giving me a new pair of socks for Christmas, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I need your financial support because I forgot which tile in my kitchen all the cash is under, and I don't feel like looking for it.
And he loves all this mob shit. And as Vegas is trying to family friendly itself, all the campaigning against him is like, oh, Vegas is trying to like, the phrasing in one of them is remarry the mob, right? He's a big mob guy. He's pro mob. Like, he's not pro mob, but he's like,
that's such an awesome position to have.
He's like pro the kind of mob sizzle. He says at one point, if people wanted to go to Disneyland, they could drive another 200 miles. When they come out here, they don't want to see Mickey Mouse under a rock. They want to see a little Bugsy Siegel. I really believe that.
I can't believe he hung out with the mob enough to be so pro mob, but not enough to remember the part of Omerta where you're supposed to say the mob isn't real.
No matter. I mean, I think he did deny the existence of the mob for a long time, but also the existence of prostitution in Las Vegas, which is really funny.
I mean, here's the thing about him, and this is what I keep coming back to: is he loves the mob, but like as like a sort of social phenomenon that produces fun guys.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
he just loves hanging out with these guys. But so he gets elected mayor, and it's 1999. Pretty soon, 9/11 happens. This is only important to note that he makes friends with like this FBI agent he used to be enemies with, because now the mob is cute next to like terrorism. It's like that one episode of The Sopranos. This is just going to set me up for something later. But meanwhile, while New York City is experiencing 9/11, Las Vegas is facing Las Vegas's 9/11, which is urban decay. So basically every mayor has tried to get more stuff going in Vegas that isn't gambling, like in the city. And so the previous mayor had built this thing called the Fremont Street Experience. I've been, it's mid. It's a bunch of LEDs over like a street, and you look at the LEDs.
I've been there. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's just an arcade. It's like an arcade. Yeah.
Yeah. And it never really took off, like, because Vegas has a downtown, which is not the strip. Like, that's where Fremont Street is. But like, who cares? Nobody cares. You're not going to see downtown Vegas. What are you going to see? Julie Farkas at the old Mormon fort? No, you're not. Come on. You're going to go and gamble because that's what it's for.
Yeah, I got to go get my legs broken at Circus. That's what I'm
yeah,
doing.
Exactly. And so there's also this kind of arrangement which is really familiar to us, which is that the mayor of Las Vegas has no actual power. The mayor is one vote on a 5-member city council that controls none of the casinos. And so all you can really do with that job is hustle and pitch and sell, largely on the basis, and Oscar admits this, that people will not know that the Las Vegas Strip isn't in the city of Las Vegas.
Oh my God. I mean, there are certain mayoral roles that attract these kinds of people. I'm thinking like Darren Lyons, Francis Suarez, all of these like quite weak positions where your whole role is just to be a pitchman for your town.
Yes.
But based on the idea that people don't really understand your town very much. And you just got to keep kind of keep bamboozling them.
Mind you, this is a guy who cannot get his car parked by the valet out at like any of the casinos. He has a story about this. He goes and gets them to park the car, and he's like, "I'm the newly elected mayor," and she's like, "I don't give a fuck." But
you're not some guy in a cowboy hat that yells at Robert De Niro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so
come back when you're a Clark County commissioner.
Literally, yes. So basically, all he's doing is dealing with out of towners and being like, "Hey, I'm the mayor of Las Vegas," and they go, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah, I'm the mayor of Las Vegas. Oh, cool. Can you take me to the casinos?
No.
No.
only if you can park your own car. But this is kind of the role that Oscar's born to play, though. Like, he gets his face printed on casino chips at this one tiny off-stroke casino called the Four Queens, with his face and the happiest mayor in the universe. He's going everywhere with like a showgirl on each arm, and his office is in like an Adobe strip mall at this point.
Tremendous.
So basically, Oscar has a 3-point plan to restore like life to downtown Vegas. And
Let's hear 'em.
Point 1, business.
Love it.
Okay.
This is kind of Vision 2030 when you think about it, because like we
the
said,
strip's in a line.
Yeah, the strip is in a line. It's in a desert. Las Vegas has one industry, one commodity, which is killing it from overdependence and because it's completely unsustainable, right? It's like petrodollars. Gambling dollars don't really stay there.
American Neon.
Yeah.
It's supported by the constant threat of violence, or at least it was for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's American Neon. So
it was set up with the help of the CIA.
Yeah,
as well.
So Vegas has to diversify, right? If there's going to be a city there, it has to diversify, and that means there need to be non-casino jobs downtown. And so Oscar calls everyone, and his big success here is pulling in this like locally big company called Zappos, which I think sells like shoes.
Yeah, that is a huge website here
online.
Yes,
okay.
it is a big old shoe. It's like Amazon for shoes. They might be owned by Amazon now.
Okay.
But they were for years. It was like you could get any shoe delivered to your house tomorrow. And they have an enormous inventory.
For some reason, Amazon for shoes is still its own country.
Well, it's owned by one guy called, I think his name's Tony Sier. But like he gets them to move their headquarters from Henderson, which is like down the road, into Las Vegas.
Oh, no, sorry. They were bought by Amazon. Excuse me.
Okay,
sorry.
well, anyway.
Let's keep going.
And this guy also invests a lot into like this kind of non-governmental like downtown project. And they build some stuff. They build some parks and stuff. And okay, they put a lot into downtown. One of the big like crowning achievements is downtown Las Vegas has a brain center now, which only sounds funny when you say it like that. It's like a brain injury like treatment center thing.
I legitimately did not even think about that. That's
no.
what you're talking
you
about.
say brain center, it's like
I thought it was like an innovation lab. You know,
no, it is an actual thing. It's funny to say brain center. But like the kind of small fryness of this is clearly like rankling, and you know Oscar takes that really personally. Like at one point he says on the record about the like company that has just dumped a bunch of money and moved all their shit to Vegas that they are $10 an hour phone people. Like he doesn't like it's fine, but he doesn't want Amazon for shoes. He wants Microsoft going on the computer. That's a growth industry, right?
Yeah.
People are going to stop wearing shoes any day now, but going on the computer is forever.
Imagine if Microsoft moved to Vegas. I mean, eventually, like they did get those guys. Like Horowitz from Andreessen Horowitz lives in Vegas.
Oh, we'll get to that. That's a whole other episode.
Sorry. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So there's some real Nevada-ness political skew coming into this again, right? Because so Bill Gates is in town for a convention, likely place for him to be. But the convention is at the Sands, whose labor is striking, right? Like there is a picket in front of it. And although he is invited as a courtesy, Oscar will not cross the picket, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, based Oscar Goodman, because he needs the unions, right, is the thing. And
it's extremely a union town. That's like why Bernie Sanders won the state in 2016, right? Like, yeah. extraordinarily so.
I don't even know to what extent this is a principle thing for him. I don't know if Oscar really like has principles like that, but he won't go, right?
Sure.
He snubs the thing.
If we think of him in terms of his like love for the mafia, I think you could maybe be like, no, the unions, they're our guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the principle is probably not like anything progressive, but I think he knows who his guys are.
Yeah, big labor unions also kind of create fun guys.
That's true. But so this sets off a mortal enmity between Oscar and the owner of the Sands, and the reason why the labor force is on strike, Sheldon Adelson.
Oh, that's right.
Castle Thunder, please. Like, these two fucking hate each other, genuinely. And so there's this like lifelong enmity that is sparked off by this. Like, okay, Adelson's paper, the Review Journal, had run like an anyone but Oscar campaign in the election because, again, they were trying to make it family friendly, but like, that's politics. This is the real like personal fissure here. And after this, it gets quite like last two Jews in Afghanistan not on speaking terms anymore between them. Fine. You don't get Microsoft anymore, and you have made a powerful enemy this day by sticking with the unions. On the other hand, you've made a relatively powerful friend by sticking with the unions, which is nice that you get to do that. But who cares? Plan B. And Plan B, sports.
I mean, to be fair, that's where the Neom comparison holds up, because that's also what Neom is doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So the sports thing, it's not just the money, right? Like, a lot of this proceeds from the analysis that like bringing in a professional sports team brings a lot of money to the city. This is bullshit. Everyone knows it. They actually cost money.
Yes.
More importantly, Oscar feels like, with some justification, Vegas doesn't really have like a civic identity, right?
Yeah.
Like the city itself doesn't really exist. People forget it exists. And so it's like, you know, million plus people, probably more. Like, I don't know how many people it is, but it's a big city.
It's a big enough city to have the big four sports.
Yeah, sure.
In town.
Or at least a couple of them.
And it doesn't have any like sort of cultural impact or cachet that isn't gambling, and he wants to change that. Now, specifically, Oscar is a basketball guy, and the thing that he wants more than anything is an NBA team. Let me tell you, this guy does the full court press of pitching, right? Like, this is our most basketball aligned mayor after Sarah Palin.
I'm locked in.
You'd think like, so I'm really understanding Oscar Goodman through the lens of experiences he wants to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wants he wants to be in the legitimate businessman's social club, getting kissed and given money.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be surveilled at the bat mitzvah.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to sit courtside, stand up and clap for a team he's like has kind of a stake in.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense. And I'll also just real quick context as the American sports knower on the podcast. Around this time in the early 2000s, every single small market team is constantly threatening to move to Las Vegas. It is almost about to happen all the time. It is always, every time some dumb fuck owner in Tampa is trying to get a new stadium built, they say, we're moving to Vegas. It almost happens so many times. It finally happened a couple of times recently where now the Oakland A's are moving there and the Raiders moved there. But it was for a very, very long time. It was like the eternal threat of your small market team to extort the city you lived in was Las Vegas has no teams.
Yeah.
And we're about the same size as they are.
During the course of all of those disputes, every single person involved, down to like the janitor, was getting 20 phone calls an hour from Oscar Goodman. This is like, he was doing the hardest sell you can possibly imagine. And nobody wants any part of it. All the commissioners, all the leagues hate Vegas, and they hate Oscar specifically because he is that intent on it. Like, the only sport that likes Vegas at this point is boxing. And that doesn't help you because you box in a casino like in Ocean's 11, and none of that money comes to the city.
Yeah.
And like, Vegas doesn't have a tax base because it doesn't have income tax. So if you want to build a stadium in the city, you're not getting any public money for that. And that's the only thing that moves people anywhere, is how much money can we extract from a municipality to like pay for this shit.
Yeah, you need the entire country to become addicted to gambling, and then you can get a team there.
Yeah, and so finally, after like God knows what wheedling and cajoling, he finally gets the NBA to agree to an all-star game, like one game in Vegas in 2007.
I remember this.
And this is like on sufferance, right? Because everybody involved is like, not only do we not want to like have a team in Vegas, we don't even want to go to Vegas because Vegas hasn't cleaned up yet. They're trying, right? And it's like Vegas is sports betting. We do not want to sully the like sanctity of like the National Basketball League or the National Football League or whatever by association, by proximity with like sports betting.
That's so funny as well, because this has just come off the back of so many gambling scandals.
It's quaint,
I was going to say, this
it?
is the 2007 NBA All-Star Game is like a couple of months before the Tim Donaghy scandal breaks, which was the NBA ref that was caught gambling. This is like, it's like their worst fear.
Yeah. Also the casino owners hate it as well, because that's competition with them and it would wean Vegas off of their shit a little bit. And so the All-Star Game itself, the salient thing that happens for Oscar is that this NFL cornerback, Pac-Man Jones, is in town, and one of his entourage shoots two people outside a strip club, which is, he paralyzes one of them. This is about as bad press as you can get. By the way, Oscar has always been vocally in favor of legalizing sex work in Clark County and the city of Las Vegas.
All right.
Again, the Nevada-ness dimensions of that. And so, suffice it to say, you're not going to get an NBA team in Vegas after this.
Everything that could have gone wrong basically went wrong.
Yeah, and then the scandal
Michael Jordan
breaks,
re-debuted his Hitler mustache, being like, maybe this time.
Yeah. So, what's the year after 2007 called again?
2009?
No.
Right?
There's one before.
2010. That could be 2006. 8.
Oh, 2008. Yeah, when the entire economy crashed. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. Was that bad for gambling and vacations?
It was not good for gambling or vacations, no.
The entire world was hooked on the film 21, starring Kevin Spacey.
Vegas had the highest unemployment rate and the highest foreclosure rate of any major city in the US. Like, it was that bad. And Oscar, of course, Pitchman, remained supremely confident. His line is, I don't think anybody saw this coming. It's not our problem. We have the greatest infrastructure in the world. We've got the best hotels. So it's going to be fine. We'll just write it out. Yeah.
He's right. Nobody saw it coming, and they do have good hotels. Like,
that is true.
I will say I hate Las Vegas so much that I famously spent 2 years of my life writing a book about how much I fucking hate Las Vegas and being there. The hotels are nice. They're nice.
He's like making it so much easier to get permits for anything that he points to that and he's like, look, there's still cranes going up, right? But so this Vegas gets like one leg knocked out from under it. And so plan A is fucked. Plan A was business, that's fucked. Plan B was sports, that's fucked too. So we're now down to plan C, right? And as Vegas is kind of like rebuilding, the only thing left to do is authoritarianism. Right. So
cool.
The Vision 2030 thing was not just a joke. Oscar is a big urban blight guy, and the similarities do not end. The similarities to Saudi Arabia do not end there because some kids get caught spray painting the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, and he says they should have their thumbs cut off.
Oh, that's the funniest thing you could possibly say given his background. It'd be like, I'm gonna go get the Irishman out of like the retirement home, and he's gonna cut your thumbs off.
Just point of order. You spray the graffiti with your index finger. It's just not an effective punishment.
But how would you hold the can with no thumb? You know
what you do? You'd hold the can on the palm of one hand and then push down with your other finger, thereby allowing you to continue making simple shapes.
In accordance with the Sharia, you cut these guys' thumbs off. In fact, this is part of Oscar's bizarre like authoritarianism, and it's bizarre in the sense that it lands on everyone other than sex workers. Like,
I mean,
because of Nevada-ness, as in things being politically unusual in Nevada, not as in failing to crack somebody's egg. So, in particular, Oscar is really down on homeless people. I found one article that, without further explanation, describes him as regularly remonstrating with the homeless.
What, just like going and castigating them?
Yeah,
hey, quick question. are experiencing homelessness and doing survival sex work co-located at all in any sense?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I think also homelessness and a massive gambling industry being co-located might also be an
What
issue.
about homelessness, a massive gambling industry, and a hugely over-levered property market?
Oh, that's
You're doing the Johnny Carson holding the envelope to your head. Las Vegas.
The movie 21.
I don't know what remonstrating means in this context. I think it means the mayor just like yells at you. Like, because he doesn't have anything better to do. He's just kind of like walking around the like non-casino bits of Vegas shouting at people.
Remonstration to me is like tut-tutting. Like he's just walking around being like, not very good. Shaking his finger.
At one point, he suggested moving them all to a concentration camp in the desert 30 miles outside the city, which is also very Vision 2030.
Oh,
Don't love
boy. He learned that from Giuliani.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, this is a rich tapestry of mayors doing this shit. One of the parks that Amazon for Shoes built that is supposed to be, in his words, a nice boutique park. People start sleeping rough in it, so he has sprinklers installed specifically to spray them at night. I have some quotes here, which are some of the more evil things I've read recently. I love the homeless, said Goodman, who once proposed shipping them to an abandoned prison 30 miles away.
That's so Trump. That's such a Trump thing to say. I love the homeless. They're often very nice. Wisdom. You see a lot of wisdom from the homeless, and they have good signs. They write good signs on cardboard. They can get a lot on there.
I love the homeless. Unfortunately, they're really interfering with the quality of life. They say I'm a bad guy because I don't want these folks wandering around neighborhoods, Goodman said. If it comes down to a choice between helping my good neighbors or helping the homeless, I choose my good neighbors.
Is this guy still alive?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, I'm going to go
okay, yeah, sure.
pop off the mic for a couple hours.
Next, Goodman said
You're going to go remonstrate with him.
He wants to propose an ordinance that would allow police to send homeless people who appear to be mentally ill to psychiatric hospitals. He still believes his idea to send them to an abandoned prison was not half bad. The place had a kitchen and a hospital, he said.
It had a kitchen?
Goodman said his intentions...
Has it got a good buffet?
His intentions are good. He just wants to figure out a way not to be misunderstood, to help those who don't want to be helped. Yeah. And then that article concludes by interviewing a homeless person who is homeless because they fell 15 feet off a roofing job and like broke their back and lost their job and then gambled the rest. And I think
not
this is
very good neighbor of him.
An evil man. So he also just really likes threatening people, just like in general.
I mean, you can guess why, right?
That's the mob lawyer thing. Goodman today speaks to critics much like he did to the prosecutors he faced in the courtroom. I'll bury you, he roars. I'll have your job, he threatens. He has promised to ban from City Hall reporters who write unflattering pieces about him, and once threatened to break the legs of a journalist who dared ask a difficult question. He said of a New Yorker columnist, I'll take a baseball bat and break his head if he ever comes here.
Yeah, again, Chotiner.
Yeah.
I can't be exposed by that guy.
A different reporter for the New Yorker wrote that Goodman kept a list of people who opposed his campaign so he could later, and this is in quotes, get them.
Get them a nice bouquet of flowers.
Yeah. Enemies list. He threatens to burn down the Plaza Casino if they don't shape up. Unclear what he meant by this.
Probably that he was going to burn down the Plaza Casino, I imagine.
He also has a long-standing and pretty racist one-sided beef with Obama, who he calls a real slow learner. This is purely because this is really like I don't think about you at all stuff. Obama makes some joke about the Republicans' budget or whatever being like blowing the kids' college fund in Vegas, in New Hampshire, on the campaign trail. And the only person who listens to that is Oscar, and Oscar takes it way too personally.
What is... Because I'm trying to think what he would take personally about it, because like people do gamble in Vegas.
Yeah, but
right?
people only win. They only win when they gamble in Las Vegas, right?
Right, yeah, I guess so.
He like calls Obama's people constantly demanding like a walk back and a kind of like an endorsement of gambling in Vegas. And of course, Obama delivers this kind of tepid, semi-compromised thing where he's like, Las Vegas is one of the cities that there is in Nevada. And Oscar takes that really personally. And so this spirals to the point, it's entirely one-sided. Like, there's nothing from Obama on this, but this ends with Oscar banning Obama from Vegas, which he has no power to do. But as far as I know, he still is.
Yeah, like, because Oscar Goodman is still alive and still, let's say, connected to City Hall.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, did Obama ever go to Vegas?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, he's in the big casino book of like people who aren't allowed to come in, along with like Danny Ocean, I guess.
Yeah, I love that his inability to drink an $18 Limerita while watching his team get thrashed by the Lakers has driven him insane. Like.
My next heading for this is what the Las Vegas Sun describes as ethical troubles. So these aren't the worst, not by our standards, right? He gets done on ethics charges for three things, right? And the big one is he uses his position to host a cocktail gala, no clue, on behalf of his son's company. He has a fail son who's like 50 now. His son's company uses software to do polling insights, and it's called iPolitics, with a small I, and politics is with an X, because this was 2005.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's like, he was like, it's the iPod of politics.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah,
legitimately, you could have gotten a brochure.
It's him dancing around, but he's a silhouette, and you can see the two earbuds.
Oh,
And he's listening to Bohemian Like You by the Dandy Warhols.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he's literally just like, he gets up there, he's like, I'm the mayor, this is my son's company, please take a brochure, bye. Which is an ethics violation, right? Like, you're not really supposed to do that. And the charges stick, but nothing serious. It's a slap on the wrist, like he gets reprimanded. Oscar takes this really personally.
I love him.
Sensing
He's
a
my
pattern.
favorite mayor we've ever done.
Yeah,
I love him
and
so much.
So he appeals all the way to the Supreme Court of Nevada, which overrules the ethics board in a way that turbo fucks any hope of ever enforcing any public ethics law in Nevada ever again.
Like, he is a ball of id, which I
Yes.
think is really fun.
Yes, yeah. And then my next heading is people fucking love this guy because he gets elected for one term in 99. He gets reelected twice in way bigger landslides, like 80% plus both times.
God.
That's so cool.
He's racking up like Huey Long numbers. Like,
Well, I just saw the photo that's directly under this heading.
yes. Would you like to describe it?
He's
Like,
evil, but now I want to vote for him. Yeah, I would just say it's a photo of him. One, he's wearing there's two and they're kind of identical, but I'll describe the one I like more. He's in a pinstripe suit with a very long tie that looks very like Jerry Garcia collection from JCPenney.
yeah.
And he's got like a little goatee and a little haircut. And he's got two showgirls with him in their showgirl outfits. And then he's holding a martini the size of his own torso, holding it aloft. It has like 12 olives in it, which also all look enormous. Like these olives look like the size of apples. I don't understand where they're finding these olives is my real problem. The glass is so big. There's so much martini in it. And like there's been in the last 20 years, there's been an insane inflation of what a martini is in America. They've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. They used to be like one shot of alcohol and now they're like 3. But this is like a pint of martini.
Yeah, he rules.
And he's in front of a sign that says the martini.
Yes, he is.
That's the thing.
I love him.
This martini glass, I believe it's a different martini glass from the other picture and is slightly bigger.
It's slightly bigger.
He has at least two big novelty martini glasses.
Yeah, these pictures will go in the show notes or be the episode art or something because
Or
they
the
are
trailer.
they are undeniable to look at these pictures.
The aura.
It looks like if you drank that much gin, you would black out immediately.
If you look behind him in the first photo, 5 steps behind him and the two showgirls is his wife, by the way. He mostly just like says shit. Aren't
we all?
For instance, I have a quote here from Cigar Aficionado, to whom he was talking about his opposition
I
to
forgot about that. I love him more now.
to anti-smoking ordinances. And he says, I don't like regulation. I really don't. The less government, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And most regulation happens as a result of knee-jerk reaction. If you have a child who is subject to some molestation by an ice cream vendor, suddenly people want to put all sorts of laws together to monitor ice cream vendors.
Well, yeah, that's why he was against Megan's Law.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just like, when you get diddled by the ice cream clown. Yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking of that just as an example. This is a guy who has a real turn of phrase like this at a few points. He also, the big martini glass. Let me tell you Oscar Goodman's martini recipe. It's like a pint of Bombay Sapphire.
Please.
Garlic stuffed olive, no vermouth.
Okay.
That's a martini.
That's going to be a little unbalanced there, Oscar.
Yeah.
At one point, he claims on the record to be going through a bottle of gin a day.
Yeah.
Oh my
call
God.
that the desert martini. It's so dry. That's crazy.
For some fucking insane Nevada reason, at one point, he gets asked in front of an elementary school class full of 4-year-olds what book he would take on a desert island with him. And he says he would rather have a bottle of Bombay Sapphire.
Oh, okay. Is there a word for this when you need alcohol so bad?
Yeah. Do you find that your drinking interferes with work activities? He also,
I don't know, maybe not. He's doing really well as the mayor while drinking a bottle of Bombay Sapphire. Again, I hate to keep making the Trump comparison, but again, talking to kids, but forgetting that kids aren't just small adults is also a very Trump
There's
thing.
legitimately a story where he meets 2 twin 10-year-old girls at something, and the line that he goes with is, I shouldn't have started drinking so early, I'm seeing double, which is funny. And then he tells the newspaper, I also thought about doing a line about how they would grow up to be showgirls, but I didn't think it would go over.
Oh my Lord.
I mean, he was right.
Yeah, he was right. It wouldn't have gone over.
It wouldn't have gone over very well.
He told the newspaper about it anyway.
Okay, we've all been there when you've got a joke so good that you're like, I shouldn't say it. But then you're like, I'm going to couch it and I shouldn't say this, but.
Yeah.
Because you really want people to know how clever you are.
He also lands an endorsement deal with Bombay Sapphire that's worth $100,000 a year.
Likely company to do it.
Yeah. That went to the ethics board as well and went nowhere, along with his use of a Cadillac loaned to the city and his involvement in a Jane magazine contest, which involves Goodman renaming a city street for the winner.
Oh, who won?
I don't know, sadly.
Oh my God.
Personally, never been into Bombay Sapphire either. Color of the glass always puts me off. Reminds me of Barbasol.
There are so many things that that I wish it was possible to know that just never got recorded. Did anybody ever win the Jane magazine contest to have a street in Los Angeles named after them? Because you can't just look at a street that's named for a woman because there are probably lots of them. You won't know which one, if anything, was created for the winner of the Jane magazine contest.
The thing is, I did so much research for this. I read so many more articles than I needed to. I read almost anything I could find with his name in it, partially because, the episode, but partially because they all have, the Vegas local press gives you a sentence. This is a lead for something that I didn't end up using that I think is a beautiful piece of journalism. Mayor Oscar Goodman is a tireless pitchman for his town, and Officer Hitman Anthony Brown is a cop by day and a dancer by night. What the hell more do you want from a newspaper article? Nothing.
That's perfect.
Right.
That is so perfect.
One thing I did find in the course of this research is a partial list of stuff that he keeps in his office. And I'm just going to run through it now. Stop me if you like. 2 crowns.
Yeah, one for him and one for his wife.
Bowling ball that looks like an olive.
Nope, that's just an olive. He's having a bigger martini glass engineered, and this is going to be the olive that goes in it.
Yeah, he's getting a glass that's made that can withstand the weight of a 12-pound olive.
Yeah, he went to go see one of those sexy burlesque shows where the lady is in a giant martini glass, and all he was thinking was, wow, I could really drink a martini out of that.
He's got the thing where you're at a wedding and there's a carving station, but it's for one olive. He's just got a big knife
using
and
the electric carver for an olive. Big menorah.
Sure.
Humidor full of illegal Cuban cigars. And his quote to Cigar Aficionado is, I water them as I should to keep them very moist. I like my cigars moist. I don't like them hard.
I like my martinis dry and my cigars wet.
He has the original horse's head prop from The Godfather.
That rips.
Oh, that's such a perfect thing for him to have. Like, definitely.
He has a bunch of like unflattering newspaper cartoons of himself.
Sure.
He has assorted Bombay Sapphire memorabilia.
Likely thing for him to have.
Many martini glasses of varying size.
He's trying to combine them into one larger one.
He's making like a champagne fountain of all like with the big pyramid, but it's all martini.
Bobbleheads of himself.
Okay.
A signed picture of himself with Pamela Anderson.
Perfect.
Yep.
A diamond-studded bottle of gin.
Yeah, they give you that if you drink enough gin.
And a Red Bull mini fridge.
It's like a YouTube plaque. Oh,
that's just. I get this from an article about him packing up his office after he leaves office. He does coffees with the mayor, which inevitably turns into martinis with the mayor instantly. So you could just have like a big glass of Bombay Sapphire with a massive olive in it with him after work if you wanted.
Is it like a Willy Lantigua thing where you could just walk into his office and be like, hey, can I have a drink? And he'd be like, of course, I'm the mayor. Let me pour you a drink.
If you were homeless, you would walk into your office and berate you. So like,
of course. No, he requires proof of address and then he pours you a martini.
Yeah. And the whole time he's like relentlessly optimistic, most of all about climate change. His big line on this is the worst that happens is we have to pay for the water.
But Las Vegas is in the desert. Like, that would be pretty bad if that happened.
That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, I mean, they're already paying for the water, I think.
Yeah.
It's not like they have it already. It's okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, I think you'd be more concerned. Like, maybe they double the price of the water.
Yeah.
Maybe. No?
This is the worst that can happen.
Just drink
the worst that can happen.
And so besides Amazon for shoes and the Brain Center, Oscar has kind of happily achieved nothing. Right. He's done 3 terms. And in 2011, he is term limited. You only get 3 terms as mayor of Vegas. And he promises all of his cronies and like everybody else in the city council that like, I'm done. Right. I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to endorse. It is your turn. You can succeed. And then the day before the filing deadline, his wife enters for the next election, his wife, Carolyn. This fucks so cool. Over some of them so bad that they campaign against her. Like, it's not a spoiler to say that Carolyn Goodman wins and that she gets her own episode, which will also be me in the episode after this.
Next free episode, yeah.
Yeah, but the bit that I want to highlight about Oscar is this. As a quote. At Carolyn Goodman's election night party, Oscar yelled at her, "If you don't be quiet, I'll have you whacked," when she failed to stop talking for an announcement he wanted to make. She fell silent and all eyes settled on her husband, not because of his threats, but because they wanted to hear him talk.
Cool.
Yeah,
Vegas,
so basically people just can't stop. My love for Oscar Goodman is ironic. Theirs seems to be quite genuine.
Oh yeah, genuinely. It's genuinely like, that's just Oscar.
Obviously it's genuine. Yeah, he's our guy. We're his guy. Everyone's each other's guys.
He must be such a good hang, right? He's got to be an incredible hang.
Unless you're homeless.
Or
his wife.
Yeah. Or Sheldon Adelson.
But if you're like Nicky Spilatro, you're having a great time with this guy.
Yeah. You're Lefty Rosenthal. This is like your favorite lawyer. Like, you almost want to get like heat so you can go hang out with your lawyer.
I also I have one quote that I included just because I really wanted to include it because I think it's funny and because I'm doing a serious man for Kill James Bond soon. So
that sounds interesting. I wonder who else is on that episode.
Yeah, crazy. They interviewed his rabbi. He says, "The mayor is 100% Jewish. He's very proud of it. As a matter of fact, the day of his election, he started his day coming to Shabbat services, putting on his talis. People magazine had a picture of him with his talis on. He's very proud of his Judaism. Not always the most observant, but, which is great just to get that in the newspaper."
This is the purest expression of American Judaism imaginable. I'll get into it on a future episode of a movie podcast, unnamed.
Not huge coincidence. Not always the most observant, but
You know. It's perfect. I love him.
Mob lawyer.
Yeah.
So he gets term limited out of office, and he has a bit of a post mayoralty. He gets a steakhouse at the Plaza, which is the casino he threatened to burn down.
Well, yeah. Hey, you don't keep your act together, I'm going to leave the broiler on.
Yeah, I think it's called like Girls Gin and something. I don't remember. But he does like a one-man show for a bit, telling mob lawyer stories. He sues.
Oh my God, that's another thing I wish I could have seen.
I'm sorry.
Because it's,
I wonder if it's been recorded anywhere. Maybe if you go to Vegas, you can buy a DVD on Fremont Street.
It's just called Oscar's Steakhouse.
Okay.
It is still open.
We gotta go.
We do have to go, actually.
He sues a true crime author for like $1 billion for accusing him of having been in the meeting where Woody Harrelson's dad got the green light on that federal judge.
Oh.
And then the author apologizes fulsomely and then wins $250K in a poker tournament the same week anyway, so it's fine. Las Vegas is not a real city.
Oh my
hey,
God.
sorry. We have to go to Oscar's Steakhouse and get No Noses mob meatballs.
Oh my God, we do. Incredible.
Oh my God.
Okay,
yes.
there's two more things I want to hit here. Thing one, undying beef with Sheldon Adelson, because when his wife is mayor, there's like a minor scandal because while he's doing this one-man show and while he's doing kind of like convention center shit as a pitchman again, he uses convention center security guards to drive him home because he's drunk after every one of his one-man shows. And so he just gets the security guard to drive him home. And Sheldon Adelson and his paper, the Review Journal, make a big deal out of this. By the way, Sheldon Adelson has a competing convention interest in his casinos. This is the least surprising news to ever hit Vegas and nobody cares. But Oscar takes it really personally. And he has a really good line on Adelson. He says, to have a person come along who's a misanthrope, it means somebody who's a hater. This guy wakes up in the morning. I just hope his wife is a misanthrope too. He gets up in the morning with his agenda to try and hurt this city.
By the way, quick ironic coda to the Adelson beef. Adelson now dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
His widow, Miriam, now is the majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
And they very recently kind of blew up their team in a confounding way that nobody quite understood because it seems that she is most likely going to move the team to Las Vegas.
He just wins. He can't stop winning.
That's why he's the happiest mayor in the world.
He's got one other thing.
He's still going to get the NBA team, yeah.
He's got one other thing, and then I got a quote that ties this whole thing together. So his other big thing is because he's a mob guy, he wants to build a mob museum in Vegas. And a lot of people try to stop him. When they do, he takes it really personally.
Oscar takes that personally is I think the phrase you have said most.
Yes.
In this episode.
At one point, he sarcastically reproposes it as a mop museum.
Oh, come on. That's funny. That's really funny.
He's
There's
funny.
no such thing as the mop. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is, you could almost imagine that being like Nathan Fielder's idea.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, the building that he wants to build the mob, the building where he wants to build the mob museum is the federal courthouse where he got all the mob guys acquitted. So this is the Oscar Goodman Museum of Victory over the federal government. and the thing is, he did it. It's there. It's built. You can go and see it. And he was able to make it happen because after 9/11, he got in tight with the FBI again. And so, like, there's a bunch of retired special agents who are like, yeah, of course we want to help you build the mob museum so long as we get, like, the Fed wing of the mob museum. And so it's just there. And now he has a statue.
I love him.
I love you, statue mayor. Not the things that you do, but...
That was your life.
Oh my God.
Oscar Goodman, a man who keeps alluding to contract killings. And the quote that I think sticks with me that I found it's from another profile of him. Everything in my life, the 71-year-old said, has turned out just perfectly.
Wow. Thank you, November, for a perfect episode of the show.
Oh my God. This is why we started the show. This is what it's all about. This is mayoring.
Now that's what I call mayoring.
So we will be talking on the next free episode about his wife, also 3-term mayor of Las Vegas, Carolyn.
Yeah.
She's worse.
I cannot fucking wait. And the interregnum next week is going to be on the mayoral benevolent feed, which you can get if you pay $5 a month. And we're going to be watching a documentary about Australian local politics.
Mm-hmm. Rats in the ranks.
Rats in the ranks. And talking about the mayor, Larry Hand.
Yeah. Just so you know, by the way, that was sent in to us by a listener. And listeners, mostly on Blue Sky, are sending us some great mayors.
Yeah.
So I monitor the DMs on Blue Sky. Send us your mayors.
Yeah.
We want to hear about your mayors.
And if you are a bonus listener, it's not streaming anywhere. I found it on Canopy if you have a library card in America. But if you can watch Rats in the Ranks, it fucking kicks ass. And try to do it. There's lots. If you have an Australian VPN, I think you can stream it for free in Australia. Try to do that.
Yep. To be clear, we are not watching a bad movie and making fun of it. We're watching a good movie. It is a good movie that
and
is
making
good.
fun of Australia.
Yes, correct.
In a good humored way.
Okay, this has gone on for so long, and we have to record another episode immediately. We need to leave right now.
Okay. Well, bye everybody.
Bye.